Right, I'm sorry, I don't know how much didn't get recorded on my camera because it seems the memory file on that is too big, and I'm not going to reshoot and start again because I've done that enough times today with all the ones that went wrong. So just as a catch up, I went out and had to get more ingredients because the Mary Berry recipes are crap and none of them worked for me. I ended up with sink holes in the middle and cake that tasted essentially like sugary egg, I don't know. And while I was out, I did come across this in B&M. I needed a new hand mixer anyway because only one of the rotations on mine is now working. And just for the hand mixer, it was 20 quid, whereas this in B&M was 25. It doesn't have the spatula attachment for folding. It is just the whisk, or there is another attachment. I'm not entirely sure what I'll use an attachment like this for. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. Also, if anybody's had success with the Mary Berry recipe, let me know below what is the secret to making it work. So I've started again, and what I've done so far is I've combined my room temperature butter, 200 grams of that, with 200 grams of caster sugar. And then once that had gone really smooth and creamy and started to lighten in colour, I added 4 eggs, which I'd just broken up a bit with a fork. Those 4 eggs add up to 200 grams as well, and I've added those half at a time into the blender to bring it all together. After having a look online and watching some YouTube videos, and my mother saying that people that make good pastry, like I do, cannot make good sponge, and the people who make good sponge cannot make good pastry, to which I do not subscribe, because baking is chemistry, not magic. And so here we go again. So I'm just going to let this keep combining the egg with the butter and the sugar. I don't know how well you can hear me over the mixer, but essentially it doesn't seem to go to the edges of the bowl with the whisk. If everybody else has this contraction from B&M and finds that it mixes more perfectly and evenly than I'm finding, please let me know in the comments. Oh, look at the mess I've made there. Right. So I'll clean it later. So here we have, and that's all beaten in, and that's the butter, the sugar and the egg, and apparently doing this sort of a texture is normal, so we shall see. It can't be worse than any of the previous, can it? I'm going to add all my wet mixed parts together as well before I start adding my flour. So what I've got here now is 2 tablespoons of milk. I've used half and half, mixed with 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence. And I'm just going to add that in and give it another whisk. While my mixer's doing that job, I'm just going to butter and line my tins, which may or may not get picked up on camera, and hopefully by then I'll be ready to start adding my flour. at all. Okay, so now I'm going to start adding my flour. Now this in here I've already sifted, and it is 200 grams of self-raising flour and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I don't want to shock my aerated mix by dumping it all in at once, so I'm going to add in a couple of tablespoons at a time. And on the cold slow setting, because otherwise all the flour will just come flying out. Also, my oven is preheated to 170 degrees. It's a fan assisted oven. Okay. And then I'm just going to do what I did before, where I manually go around the bowl, because it's just not. What I'm going to do with the rest of my flour is I'm going to fold it in here, because let's see if that helps. And I think the key is that you want the flour to be thoroughly mixed through, but you don't want to overmix it at this point. I don't know. To be honest, I've lost all faith with trying to make a Victoria sponge, and my idea that this would be the easy place to start with Bake Off. Also, I've just realised that while I plan to set out timing, in the beginning I have not been timing this. What I can say is the moment it's been about 9 minutes, and based on the timer on my video, and before that it was about 5 minutes, so that's not bad actually. This bit alone has taken about 15 minutes, and I'd say weighing out the stuff took another 5 minutes max, so yeah. I'd say the maximum amount of time you could say that this has taken so far is probably 30 minutes. So, yeah, we'll see. And then I'm just going to spoon this. Just double check I've added everything in. Yeah, I'm just not feeling it, you know. But also, now you can measure to make sure they're perfectly even. And I did that with one of my first attempts, but it's already been such a long day, and I'm not caring as much anymore. So how often these Laura's Bake Off videos occur, who knows? Because I don't understand why something that normally works. I've made sponge loads of times. Vanilla sponge cake. I've iced vanilla sponge cake. I've made rainbow cake, and it's been nice. So why the hell this hasn't worked so well for me is anybody's guess. But it's been a long day. That's not including the 20 minutes it took to defrost the car in the first place to go out. And then let's put that there now. And then I'm just going to grab a palette knife, if I can find my palette knife, and I am just going to smooth. See, it still looks really granulated, but I mean, I don't know. I've lost the will to live. My dog is going batshit at nothing in the background, and there's not even anything there. There's nobody there. Maybe one of the neighbours' dogs are barking, you know, like 3 streets away or something. That door is open, so she's not distressed. She doesn't need the toilet. Maybe I'll have post. Okay, so that's as good as that's going to come out. I think maybe a little bit more in this one, as I've estimated my cakes here. But time will tell. They're going to go into the oven now. They go into the middle of the oven. Now, the Mary Berry recipe said to bake for 25 minutes, but to chuck it at 20. Well, what happens when you do that, because your cakes are nowhere near done, is they stink because you've let all the hot air out the oven. Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. So I'm going to cook mine for about 25 minutes and then check them, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to continue rolling film, or I might do. Do you know what? Why don't you watch me clean up? I'm sure that's just absolutely bloody riveting. Right. Look at the wall. I have to clean all this. I'm just going to give this a wipe with this damp cloth that I've also sprayed with antibacterial kitchen cleaner, because I don't know, I really don't know. I'll just give it a clean, and then probably going to end up on some amazing baker video about what not to do, where they react or something. I'd rather not. I suppose at least unlike the contestants on Bake Off, because I have to do all my own washing up, I'm not sat there staring at the oven, although I keep looking over at the oven. Sassy as can be, must have a beautiful heart wherever she It's too early to check it. Sassy as can be, must have a beautiful heart. sassy as can be. I'm going to pause it there and I'll be back with you soon. Okay, so I guess I'm going to have a look and see if my cakes are done. I'm just getting a cocktail stick as it should come out clean on each cake if I stick it through the middle, so we shall see. I'm a bit nervous in case it's gone wrong again. Oh, well maybe not. They're maybe a little bit overdone. But they're done. Okay, so what a lot of this browning is caramelisation from the sugar, I believe. And the cocktail sticks come out clean. Just trying to get the cakes in the shot. There you go, you can see one. And what you'll notice is as I touch it, it should sponge back up. And it does, they both do. Ah, right. And they smell much better. I'm buzzing. I'm going to leave these for about 10 minutes to cool. It's well past lunchtime now and I'm starving, so I'm just going to cook myself some dinner and then yeah. Hi, while my lunch cooks, I'm just going to take my clean flat knife and go around the edge of each of these cakes so that when I take them out to cool, they keep out. Let's see how that goes. Yay! Ooh, we'll leave that on the bottom for now. Crumbs are a real issue here. Right. I could have done with a second cooling tray. Oh well. I just thought I'd better turn one side over so that I've got a non-flattened top. Okay, so I think I'm I know I have a couple of them, and I think I'm going to do it on the lid of a tin because then I can transport it with the tin over the top. So and it hasn't collapsed at all. That's amazing. Okay. And I'm going to start with a layer of jam and then cream and then jam. So I've got Hartley strawberry seedless jam. I would like to put like I would have liked to have put fresh strawberries in there, but then my husband Adam won't eat it because he doesn't like any fruit, but he's happy with jam. So yeah, it's making a sticky mess everywhere already. So now you want, I would think, good layer of jam, but I don't want to make a mess down all the sides, and I'm already wishing I hadn't put it in the lid first, like so. Try and spread it evenly with a palette knife, and then I think I'm just gonna lift it back out so I can clean this off. Bear with me. It's too big. My cake board's too big, so I won't be using that because I've got to drive with this and I don't want to be driving with it loose, and I don't have a cake box, so it is what it is. I'll just have to be more careful. And I'm thinking, rather than going up to the edges, we'll just push it back a little bit, because when we're finished and we put the lid on, well, the other half of the cake on, and it pushes down, it should do that itself, I would think. I think it will squish like custard slices. So there's that, and then really wishing I'd got more of this stuff prepared before I started. But that's life. I'm going to use the mixer again, but I think this time, rather than doing it with the machine, I'm just going to use it as like a hand whisk. So yeah, and I'm just going to use a whole carton of double cream and a dash of vanilla essence in there as well. And I'm just going to whisk this up until it goes thick. but that's proper thick cream now. And I'm just gonna get just going to. I'm going to use a piping bag. I just think I'll get it more even and neat. I like disposable piping bags because I don't have to clean them. My nozzle is smaller than I'd like, but it's the only nozzle I have because I've never piped icing on a bag this size before. So normally I only really do cupcakes. So I'm just gonna press it down into the bag. Now, I haven't used all of it yet because I don't know how this is going to go. I can already see I'm going to end up with this all over my hands. Maybe we'll do it without the nozzle. Okay, I've already decided I won't be doing this way. It looks awful, like I'm piping banana. Okay, that can go. I'm using another flat knife. I am just gonna press the cream down onto the jam. Yeah, okay. Now, I wouldn't be so worried about getting any of the jam on the top because there'll be jam on the top anyway. I don't want it to be strawberry cream, so I'm trying to keep it separate for now, and as much as I can keep it tidy. And then I'm going to take the top layer of cake, which is also looking bloody gorgeous. Big spoon of jam on. back to the first palette knife and just spread it like a piece of toast. Okay, and then I'm just gonna pop this on top, squish it down a little